Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Friday, August the 3rd, 2018. Let's talk trading. Time for the weekly wrap up, and it's NFP day, as in non farm payroll. On non farm payroll day, just like any other day, make sure your money and risk management is employed each and every trade. And we can see here the dollar yen has exited that monthly wick zone. And it's about 69 pips below that open price there. So anybody going short is in the money. Once again, simple trades. Oh, and I should mention one thing. You know how almost every day, or it has been every day for months, it's dollar yen. Now, one of the reasons I do that is I say you cut down variables when you trade, and what you trade is a variable. So by trading the same pair over and over, day after day, week after week, month after month, and even year after year, you get to know it pretty well. And also, since I'm doing the same pair every day and talking about it, I can't be accused of cherry picking. If one day, dollar Canadian's running hot, and the next day, and it's easy to make money, and the next day the pound dollar's running hot and it's easy to make money. Somebody, oh, you're just cherry picking. This way, I'm going through the good, the bad, and the normal, and the extreme. So you get to see that. On the weekly, you see what happened here. We went through the wick zone and came back down the other way. Still up for the week, 23 pips. And once again, all the gaps did fill this week. And we look at the daily. Oh, it busted out of that daily low, and it busted out of the daily high. So we've got an outside bar here. And once again, there were pips to be made taking trades at those previous daily session high and lows. And so far, only two pips, only two pairs over the 100 pip range for the day. Yen coming in at 74 at the moment. And you can see here, what do we have? We've got a trigger. We've got a potential profit. Right? We've got a trigger here. And anybody probably should have scratched that trade. Or if you take a loss here, you take a loss. Or if you take a loss here, you had a chance to profit. Here was a short. And maybe you took a little heat. Or if you entered here, once again, you profited. Simple stuff. Every day it's the same. See, why does this work? Because price has to range away from the open. I know I've been over this at least a dozen times, if not more, over the past 10 years. You see here, we've got a, what was the daily range? Oh, what, 73, 74 pips. Well, you see between here and here is 20 pips. 74 doesn't go into 20. It sticks out of 20. So you see price sticking out this end and price sticking out that end. It's simple. That's the way it works. That's the way it's going to work every day. Unless we have a day where price, ranges less than 20 pips and it stays between here and here. Not too many days like that. And you can see we've got a rat zone, real-time Randy, rat zone, green rat possibility here. Oh, shout out to Pro Charge Mopar. He seemed to like the real-time Randy. Well, somebody accused me of being Harry Hindsight. So it's just like, okay, I'll take the criticism. But, so when we do something in real time, it's real-time Randy. So you got to give me the praise, right? It's only fair. And let's see, yes, we did cover that pivot. There's the open, there's the pivot, boom. And let's see what happened here. Oh, didn't we have a missed pivot the other day? It seemed like, wasn't that yesterday? That was a missed pivot. Look, it covered it. And then it covered today's pivot. So it was a two-bagger, right? Yeah, you see today's 8-3. We had a missed pivot 8-2. And the open minus the pivot was 0.038 pips. And high minus open was 1.9 pips. And so you can see there it didn't quite cover it, but it picked it up the next day. So you can see here we've got missed pivots that probably will stay missed for the rest of the year, but I don't know. Anything could happen. Okay, that just gave me an idea. I should probably modify this program to see, or maybe this program, we know what the high minus open or the open minus pivot is, and total the pips that could have been made to see if those pips would be more than these pips. I don't know if they would be or not, but that might be interesting just to see. In other words, if you were to actually, hang in a trade for a 596 pip loss, but, if you apply in the money management, you wouldn't be in there, I don't think. Okay, I turn this to daily. Let's put it back to H1 like we normally do. So we've got a 3 ball at the top, red at the line. We got a 3 ball here at the bottom. We're going to look for a green at the line, possibly next hour. So long trigger at 11.20. And here, H1 candle color at the previous lines of, or at the lines of the previous daily sessions, high, open, close, mid, and low. Now, there's one thing, let's just point out something. On this chart, we've got a couple of those lines here. We just don't have the close, but we got the high from the previous day, the open, and the low. Probably most of you guys know this. And where were we? Okay, so we've got those lines, but you see here at the wick zone, we've got the same lines showing that they comprise a wick zone, and price doesn't like staying in the wick zone, and there was a big wick zone right there, and see, price didn't like staying in it there or there. Price just doesn't like staying in the wick zone. But we're using these same lines. And then here, we've got the highest open, lowest open, holo. Okay, you see you got a long trigger here at 111.21, but this hour is going to end, so we'll get a new holo zone in about 4 minutes, and possibly a long trade. And then with the inventory reduction lines, there was a short there, there was another short there, and there was actually another short right there. Now you can see we got a long trigger here, but we got a red candle, so chances are don't want to go long on a red candle. And once again, we're using high, open, and low lines this time for the day, week, and the month. And we're going to use the same H1 trading with the candle color. So we got a bear color, we go short at the line, and if we have a bull color, we go long at the line, mainly looking at the previous lines, even though we can look at like the monthly open, the daily open, and the weekly open. Where's the current weekly open? I don't see it. Oh, it must be double printed. I know it's there somewhere. Yeah, it must be overwritten somewhere. do believe we have the weekly. Let me just double check something. Show open. Okay, HL5. Looking. My period 1 week. My bars 2. My shift. Show open true. So it's got to be there somewhere. I just don't see it. But we can move on. We don't have to belabor that at the moment. And you can see here, we're just oscillating, not much movement. Einstein line, you can see when I open the chart, there was a short trigger. Oh, it was only good for a few pips. Then again, it was good for a couple of pips. And right here, Randy real time, looks like we might have a trigger if price comes down again. And I said we might be getting a new holo zone coming up here shortly. And we just did, yes, because I think it was 22 or something before. Now we're at 111.15. So what we want to do is see if price will test this low for a long entry. Not much of a test, but as you can see, we're still in the very first minute here. And I usually like to let it go for a minute before you jump in it. If you just wait that 1 minute, as you can see, that minute's still happening. Actually, we can put it to a 1 minute chart. See, there we go. Just let that first candle play out. Some people might even want to wait the first 5 minutes. But if you're anxious, you can get chopped. So you see we had a low of 113, which is within 2 pips of the low. So right there, a Randy real time, you can take that as a long if you're so inclined. And so right now you'd be up about half a pip. And we can wait, give it another minute or so. And one of the things, since we were talking this week about how to make money trading, there's one other important thing I'll just mention here that, and it ties in with what I was saying the whole week. You see, there's only certain things you can control. You can control when you enter. You can control when you exit. You can control the amount you lose. You can control the direction you trade. You can control the lot size or number of shares, your position size. You can control those things. The one thing you can't control is whether or not the trade's going to be profitable. You have no control over that. And so knowing that, you just have to place the trade and see what happens and not blame the system or the method for any one particular loss. You have to stick with it for a while and see if it works for you. Because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So I hope everybody's having a good start of the month here. Great NFP day. And enjoy the coming weekend. And then next week we can go back to draining the banks.